The Bank of International Settlements released some very important information regarding the financial system 10 days ago, and I think you should know about it. Check this out. The announcement involves Project Agora, and this is what they're talking about. So we had more than 40 international private sector financial firms convened by the Institute of International Finance will join the Bank for International Settlements and a group of leading central banks in Project Agora to explore how tokenization can enhance wholesale cross-border payments. What we are witnessing is another change in the financial system, and I think you should know about it. Welcome to the AlterNate Vantage. My name is Nate, and this is where I provide a different perspective concerning finances, news, and generational wealth. If you like this kind of content, then don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, back to the video. So here's what's going on here, and this is what I want you to know. We have been witnessing an increase in the development and the research of central bank digital currencies over the span of roughly the last 5 to 6 years. The last 2 years in particular, we've seen a lot of movement inside of this space. And here's just a few examples. Number one, China has already released their own digital yuan. It's under a pilot program, meaning it's only available inside of mainland China, but they're using it right here, right now, today. It's a central bank digital currency. India has already released their pilot program. I think they began in 2022, and it's called the digital rupee. Already using it right here, right now, today. And in the US, we have Citibank, who is currently developing their own Citicoin, which is also a tokenization process, which is also essentially a central bank digital currency. And we have JP Morgan and Chase developing their own JPM coin, which is another variation of a tokenization of assets, a tokenization of deposits, aka a central bank digital currency. If these banking systems, individual banks, systems as a whole, if they were not anticipating a shift inside of the monetary system, then they would not be wasting their time spinning their wheels, implementing these technologies like they are today, which is a telltale sign to me that this is the overall direction that we are going. Project Agora just really formalizes all the sentiments that I just communicated, because here's who all is involved in this project. So going back to the article, which this is coming straight from the Bank of International Settlements website, it says that Project Agora is structured as a public-private collaboration. It brings together 7 central banks, which includes the Bank of France, Bank of Japan, Bank of Korea, Bank of Mexico, Swiss National Bank, Bank of England, and the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. They will work in partnership with the selected financial firms, and the IIF will act as the private sector convener. So what's happening here is we have this collaborative effort now behind this technology, and the Bank of International Settlements, as well as the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, they've been talking about these technologies for a long time and have been wanting to implement these technologies for a long time. So Project Agora here is not technically anything new. Really, it isn't anything new at all. But what I really want to highlight here, when they specifically name the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, they didn't just name the Federal Reserve Bank, okay? And they didn't name a random state here when they say Federal Reserve Bank of New York. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York is specifically responsible for developing and implementing monetary policy across all of the Federal Reserve banks inside of our banking system. So when you have an entity like this being named in an article like this, talking about a collaborative effort of a new technology that's being developed, you really have to put the pieces together that they know, once again, overall, this is the direction that we're moving in, and this is who's coming together to make that happen. And we have our in the US, our authority over those systems participating in this. Big telltale signs, in my opinion. So why is any of this important to you? Well, in order for us to move into a new system, then the old system has to be completely depleted for all that it's worth. So you can expect, if you haven't already, that every single dollar that you have access to is not going to go as far. It's becoming more and more and more and more devalued as time goes on, and this is 100% intentional. We have more debt as a country and individually as we ever have before. What this is doing is it's actually encouraging everyone who's under extreme financial strain right now. It has them all looking for a savior. It has them all looking for an option that's going to bring them a financial reprieve. And so when you have all of these situations combining together, debt, the fact that everything is so expensive now, when they introduce other systems that come alongside the one that we're already using, it'll be a parallel system for quite some time. You'll have more and more people who are willing to jump over that other side because they just want to experience some sort of financial reprieve. So all of that to say, things are difficult now financially, and things are going to become more difficult. We've really just scratched the surface on the overall direction that things are headed. And what happens when we get into those situations is that people are encouraged to sell. They're going to sell whatever they have, whether it's the home, their assets, anything else, so that way they can continue on financially, buy groceries, get the things they need, get access to energy, water, food, all these different things. The issue with that is that's the last time you ever want to sell. You want to be going through this time collecting assets, not selling assets. We need to be holding onto your assets as much as possible. My top 3 favorite picks for that was going to be real estate, gold and silver, which I put together, and whole life insurance, which might sound a little bit interesting, but I'll have a video on that later explaining why I'm picking that specifically. But what we are going to witness is more and more information about this coming out. And there's actually probably half a dozen other projects I could talk about that our own Federal Reserve Bank is a part of right now, which is a central bank digital currency system like Project Enriched or Project Cedar X Open Plus with the country of Singapore. But those are going to be videos for a different time and a different day. If you want to see more updates like these, don't forget to subscribe. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one.